Welcome in, everybody. Today we're talking about the small shifts that quietly change everything. I'm Gerald from TarotStache. Thank you for being here. I am joined by the wonderful Deb H for and a thoughtful conversation. Throughout the conversation, we're going to be using some cards to deepen the discussion because sometimes that helps. It gives us, we're going to be talking about momentum and boundaries and the ripples that we create in life. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you subscribe, and here we go. Welcome, everyone, to this casual. I am so happy to be joined by the amazing Purple Elephant Deb H. For those of you who do not know me, I am Gerald of TarotStache. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me, Deb.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, this was I had been figuring out a topic that would be meaningful for a lot of people, that could lead a discussion around a variety of things where we can sort of meet everybody where they are. And I think this is a good one. To Deb's credit, I texted her on Saturday saying, "Hey, you want to do this?" And she said yes. And I'm like going, "I'll send you the stuff." She says, "Okay, I'll check it home." So thanks, Deb.
No problem anytime, Gerald, if I am not otherwise disposed.
And I want to remind everybody, ways that you can show your support are in the description. All of those links are included there, as well as making sure that you subscribe. Both of us are available for private readings.
We are.
I have a membership, so there we go. Oh, well, look who has joined us.
Gerald, St. D, Mr. Varian. Thank you for joining.
St. D, it's good to see you. And around this topic, I think what's really interesting is I think we have to realize oftentimes when we're thinking about growth and change, people often wait for the giant transformation. I mean, the huge thing. Whereas I oftentimes think that real change frequently begins with tiny movements.
Yeah.
And those tiny movements can incredibly change the world. And today we're going to be using some cards to where we're going to use them as reflective tools and conversation prompts. We're not necessarily using them for individual readings. So this isn't a reading show. Rachel has made it. It's good to see you, Rachel. Thanks for being here. And we have Purple Elephant Deb H has joined us. You can bilocate?
I can. I can be in two places at once, on my channel and on your channel.
I love that. Okay, so here's an opening question for everyone who's watching. What small shift changed something important in your life? Feel free to put that into the chat. I will star those as they come up, because I'm interested to see what might be there. And
Deveria, don't worry about it. I will see you when I see you, and we will do it then.
I love that. And Sarah has joined us. It's good to see you, Sarah. Deb, when you think about this topic, what was your initial response, if I may ask?
My initial response was the tiny thing I did that started a big ripple that came first to my mind is that during COVID lockdown, I found tarot channels, tarot tube,
Yes.
and through that I found uh, Alice over on
Heart and Soul Connected.
that's the one, Heart and Soul Connected. And I reached out to her, and I ended up doing a show with her about how I was coping with because she had titled her series something about how we are coping with the pandemic and with fascism. So it was.
Mm-hmm.
So she reached out to me as a viewer to be on the show and about how I was coping with it and how I was affected by it. And that ripple led to her saying, you should start your own channel. And then I started my own channel. But I first relearned how to read tarot cards because as many people know, I read tarot as a young person. And then I stopped because of I predicted my mom's death, and I couldn't accept that. So I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the cards down. So I picked them back up during the pandemic and relearned how to read tarot. And that's how I'm sitting here today next to you, Gerald. So that small ripple of finding a video online led me here.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm grateful that we came across each other. I do not know how we connected. I don't recall that.
I think I found your channel. I may have seen you someplace, and I was in your chat, and one of us asked the other one to do a show, an interview show.
It might have been me, yes, for a casual.
I did one on your channel, and you came and did one on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how we first connected. And then after that, we've been buddies.
We have been buddies. We've also I've been rewatching some of my shows with a little bit of research. We have done a fair amount of laugh and learns and magic tool talks together.
We have done a good deal of not just readings, but how to ethically exist in this space.
Yes. Timmy has joined us, as has Selena. Timmy, Rave and Tarot Meditation, and Selena, Essence of the Moon. Selena was just on my channel last night for readings with Linda de Gonzalez. It was quite enjoyable.
And we haven't done one with Linda, the two of us together, in a while.
We have not. The Gratitude Drives Abundance.
Yes, those are the shows. That's a series we were doing.
Yes. Sarah said, tiny thing, being thankful for even the not so good things. Big ripple.
Absolutely.
Less angry, calmer, seeing things differently. I like that.
Yes. That's so important to your well-being, to who you are and how you exist.
Yes. Noticing if I'm focusing outward, then practicing bringing focus inward. Rachel, that's quite good.
That's excellent.
Selena has shared, I love the ripple effect.
There is, and once the ripple starts, then if you are cognizant of it, you can ride the wave and just keep getting bigger and bigger. The way that water, a ripple turns into a wave, turns into a tidal wave. That's it's really special.
It is. Part of the ripple effect, part of what you can say is the ripple effect. Gerald's always working. Please like and subscribe because it's free.
Yes, to both of us.
And also, please remember this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really.
Really, yes.
I want to do those things. A small ripple. Yeah.
Let me just interject that you have merch, and you do have a T-shirt that has that on it.
I do. I'm also wearing this T-shirt, which is one of mine. It's TarotStache Vibes.
I wore one of your shirts on my trip recently while I was traveling because they're so comfortable, and it was the bunny rabbit in the garden with the mustache. The garden,
yes.
The bunny has the mustache.
I love it. Yes, that's the one jumping through the flower wreath. I
yes.
love that.
And if you had put mustaches on the flowers, that would have been just as funny.
Yes. Hello, Paula Vitar War, whose name I butcher every time I see it. One small shift that I did that changed a lot of things for me. Some of you may know I have been helping a friend who has had ongoing wound care for since the end of March of 2025.
Yes.
I went over for about 8 months, 5 times a week to help change the bandage. While I was doing that, I was using that time to do some walking rambles and journaling into my AI.
I love those, by the way. I have to say that I feel like I'm part of those because you started the rambles with me while I was in the hospital.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yes, you did. Wow. So I feel like I'm part of that.
And one of the things that I did is when he found out that the doctor said he only needs to come at me, only needs to have a change every other day rather than every day, I went through a period of, wait a minute, what am I going to do? Because this has gotten me outside. It's helped me move my body. And so what the small change that I did is I decided that I was going to shift my walking not to to go help him. It was going to go and move my body.
There you go.
That's a switch of I'm not doing it because I have to get to him. I'm doing it because I'm moving my body.
There you go. And that's a good shift.
Yes.
Monkey's present.
Monkey is present, and we're glad that Monkey is here. Tiny changes versus grand reinventions. The idea is, why do people think transformation must be dramatic? I mean,
it doesn't really have to be. I mean, it can be, but you don't have to. I'm going to use myself as an example. So when I got sick, that was a grand reinvention. That was, I had to completely, my life changed 180 degrees. I went from being independent to being dependent and not able to do very much. And I'm still in that spot where I can't. So I had to rethink how I do things and how I had to rethink my reactions to things, because I can't be overly upset. I can't get overly exerted. There are things that I just will not and cannot do anymore. And a lot of the things that I cannot do are physical, but I still have me. I still have my mental capacity. I still have the way that I present myself to people. I still have me. And so as long as you still have yourself at the core of that, a grand reinvention doesn't have to be overly dramatic. It can just be the way you do things on a daily basis, the way you are, the way you exist in a space. I know I'm saying exist a lot today. There, that's that's something that's coming through, is that we should learn how to exist within our own space, who we are physically, who we are in our aura, who we are as people see us, because we
Yeah.
don't see ourselves the same way. So it may be a grand reinvention to us, but if it's not overly dramatic, someone else may not even notice that we went through that transformation.
I sometimes think of, in a world where there's social media, lots of things, shorts, videos, a grand reinvention gets a lot of views. It gets a lot of attention. Whereas tiny changes, they're tiny and people won't notice them
Right.
unless they haven't seen you for a while and suddenly you've lost 150 pounds. They're going to go, wow. And I think that's something that's helpful. Grand reinvention, it could be a really good thing. It's oftentimes, in my opinion, associated with really huge costs.
Can be. Yes.
And so the idea of, for me, I have to remember I can make tiny changes. For me, that helps me to not overcomplicate things. Hi, my name is Gerald, TarotStache. I overcomplicate things.
Sometimes.
Often. You're much nicer than to me. And I think also the tiny changes, that's a tiny little ripple that can go out there into the world. When I think about ripples, I don't realize the ripple effect that may be going on for other people around me or for others. That sense of smiling at somebody at the checkout counter
Yes.
could
Yeah,
shift somebody's day.
absolutely. You never know how you touch people. So it's for myself, I try to always be mindful of my interactions with someone, because I never know what impact that's going to have. And I definitely don't want to have a negative impact on anyone.
I want to avoid that whenever possible.
Yes.
Rossi is here, Bonzo and Nalani Hypnicity. And Bonzo said, are tiny changes like tiny hands? Yes,
Yeah.
they are. And Bonzo,
Delete the big hands.
yes, that's brilliant. I also think that tiny changes are, in my mind, easier to manage than trying to orchestrate the big event.
Yes.
I can get overwhelmed. I can just, shut down. Hello, Jan. It's good to see you. Sarah did say religious training, big dramatic book of stories. It makes a really good story. It does. And I love a good story like that. I also love a good story to where we see the impact that those tiny shifts make.
Yes.
I would much rather have in a reading, I would much rather have 4 of Wands, 6 of Cups rather than a Tower. Hypnicity said, Deb was the first in this community who reached out to me. That meant a lot to me. Aww.
Thank you, Hypnicity. I didn't realize that. Thank you so much.
Aww.
How sweet.
I remember you loved how I would pronounce Hypnicity because I could not say it properly the first few times. You would giggle. Bonzo shared, spirit has to take over for the big events. It's beyond us.
Well, that's true. Spirit and And environment. I think environment also would play a part in that as well.
I agree with you. Nalani said she made me feel welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Hypnicity, for saying that. That's very nice. Very sweet.
What do you think about pulling a card about what small energy shift creates movement right now collectively?
Okay.
How's that? And
That sounds good.
pulling this for the collective, and it's the what small energy shift creates movement right now collectively?
Oh. Gerald, I got the Lovers. And this is the sci-fi deck from Todd Allen. When we reach out to others, we never know how it's going to impact, but we can become partners. So from a small ripple, from me making comments in Gerald's chat, we became friends, and friends in the spiritual realm as well. And that caused us to have a partnership.
Yes.
Where we're able to talk to people about spiritual things and read cards too. But and that's a fun part. But there is so much to know besides just reading cards. So that partnership can happen just in a small ripple. You can become something that you never thought would happen.
That's incredible. I have the card that I have reminds me of the grid. You and I've talked about the grid. We've talked about it with mediums
and how we're all
Palmer.
connected. We
are all connected. I have the Eight of Wands from the Pulp Tarot, by Todd Alcott. And what this says to me is we do not know the impact that we could have if we're looking at the collective. If all of us were to do a small step, all of us together, that's a pretty big wave.
Yes.
It's a pretty significant wave.
It is significant. So form partnerships and allow yourself to be part of the wave. You know, it can just happen, but once you become conscious of it, then allow it. Allow yourself to be part of it. Go with the wave.
I agree with you. That's really powerful. St. D said, I think when we help others with just little things, it might make a difference in their lives without you ever knowing the impact it has on them.
Absolutely.
I agree with you 100%.
Yes, I do too.
As does Jan, who agrees with you. St. D agrees with you, Deb. And Nalani said, I believe that connection is an antidote, right, to depression. Feeling engaged makes a huge difference.
It does. It absolutely does. And how many of us came to this community because we were depressed, because we were feeling out of control, that we couldn't get what we were needing, and we were isolated. We were so isolated at that time. And this gave us a feeling of connection. And you see how large the community has grown, how many readers there are, and how many readers have their own following, and then together those connections cross over, and together we have become a large community.
Yes. Sherry has arrived and is work lurking. We are not going to tell anybody, Sherry. I promise. Shh. Jan said, sometimes just a kinder, supportive word can think. I can think of several times when we're just someone saying something to me made such a huge difference in my life. Yes. the key thing about with these tiny changes versus grand reinventions, they have to be genuine and authentic, with nothing more than to say it as honestly and as truthfully as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I do think something else that I have targeted out, Deb, is the idea that resistance hides in small things.
I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's small things are easy to overlook, to bury.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, resistance does hide in small things. Now, and that goes to, how do you define resistance? Is resistance something that you're showing against, where you're trying not to cause a ripple, or is it resistance in a healthy way? So make sure that if you find yourself in a state of resistance, that it's not preventing you from greater things, that you're allowing those small things
Yes.
instead of hiding them.
I think the the tiny actions lead us to the bigger truths. And sometimes, oh, I got an email and I see the sender, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So the tiny thing that I'm doing is not opening that email.
Exactly.
The Thomas from Tarot Your Way said something about a month or so ago, and it has stuck with me. I wrote it down. It's like, not opening the email isn't going to change what's in the email.
No, it's not.
And I went, oh man, that's good. That's good.
And how do you know you didn't miss something wonderful? How do you know you didn't misjudge the situation, and it could be something wonderful? If it's not something wonderful, then you still can salvage the situation.
Yes.
You can. It's how you react to a thing that's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's more important than the thing, is how you react to it.
Oh, that is so true. You know, resistance hides in those small things, which could be, for me, sometimes it's like dealing with the clutter piles. That's a small thing. Put that stuff away. Clear off the sewing table.
Yes, preach, brother.
Yes, yes, because that in and of itself it creates a runway. I mean, I'm looking, oh man, I didn't even need to think about that. So now I'm like, but this is, as I've been preparing, it's one of those things that it's like, oh crap.
I have the exact same problem, Gerald, since I started crocheting about a month ago. I have amassed some yarn and sewing notions and things, and it's taken over my closet in my bedroom. So I need to do something.
Yes. And as somebody who has been a knitter for many years and a quilter for many years, stay with it, because if you don't, it's going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like,
I am. I have specific things I have plans for that yarn, and I'm not going to deviate from that, because I do need to get that pile down.
I like that. Timmy shared, you can change the with the world, or the world will leave you behind.
Yes.
This is our lesson in humility.
Yes.
That's quite
I would
powerful.
think too, just to add on to what Timmy said, is that humility is the way we should try to approach anything that we see changing. We is that ours? Should we pick it up? Should we go with that flow? Or does it belong to somebody else? Can we leave it with them? If it belongs to somebody else, don't worry about it. Don't take on the more heavy aspects of it. Let that burden go to the person who is intended to pick it up.
I always like to think about the idea is if we're solving other people's problems, we may be preventing them from learning something. If we allow people to learn something along the way, when it
Mhm.
comes time for the big decisions, they've had lots and lots of practice.
Yes,
They also know you are there to help them. And that's a really good thing. I mean,
yeah,
and this is something Jennifer from My Holistic Self has said as we were talking about the idea of being overwhelmed. We need to care about other people, but we should not carry for other people.
exactly. Exactly. If it's not our burden, don't pick it up. If
Mhm.
you are already carrying it, put it down. It's not yours.
It's a 10,
And
it's a 10 of wands moment, isn't it?
it
It's like,
absolutely is. It absolutely is. Look at those things that you are finding burdensome or worrisome and decide whether or not they're yours. If you can't do anything about it, it's not yours. Let it go.
it is hard to let things go.
It is.
It is also challenging to identify as something, is it mine or is it someone else's?
It's absolutely that. Yes.
This
And
is
if you do put it down, it's hard to fill that space. So, like you were saying, with not having to go with the wound care every day anymore, it's created a space for something else to happen. I had also that sort of thing happen with me from caretaking most of my adult life. I'm not doing that anymore. Now I'm being taken care of. So I had to lay that down. I had to fill that space and let that, and sometimes we even have to grieve for it. If we've carried it a long time and felt like it was part of us, we may have to grieve for it when we put it down.
Deb, that was a big thing that surprised me with doing my friend and I, we affectionately call it Adventures in Wound Care.
Uh-huh.
We want to do a podcast with the introduction to look like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. And
Absolutely.
we wanted to do a podcast. It's just us talking about things that have nothing to do with the wound care.
Right.
But I was really surprised at how, when this showed up, when it was all like, I spent two of my walks going, this is really weird. I don't know how I feel about this. I was focused on that. Now the tiny shift is focusing on me and
Mhm.
shifting that energy.
Yes. And if you have to grieve for something or whatever else other emotion you have, sit with it, look at it,
Mhm.
identify it, own it,
Yes.
and then let it go.
We've talked about this in some of our magic tool talks and laugh and learns. If you remove something, you need to replace that. You need to fill up that empty space with something.
Absolutely.
Choose wisely of what
Absolutely.
you put it in.
Find something that's going to raise you up or
Mhm.
raise others up. You you have that ability. You can do that.
I also think we can, when we raise ourselves up and we celebrate everyone else raising themselves
Mhm.
up, all of us benefit. It's that idea of, if I have a candle and I lean over and I light your candle, Deb,
Mhm.
what's happened is you have a lit candle now. I
Yeah.
still have a lit candle.
Yes. Yes. It costs you nothing
Mhm.
to raise others up along with you if you're on your way up.
Correct.
It costs you nothing.
Timmy did share, best to keep our own side of the street clean. We have no control over the behavior of others, and we are not tasked with saving the world.
No,
Compassion has its limits. Again, it's humility.
it is. It's knowing when to pick it up and when to let it go.
Mm-hmm. Also, Timmy shared, but we also help others and it helps us. It's also a lesson in humility. I also think, as Timmy was saying, we need to keep our side of the street clean.
Yes.
By doing that, sometimes we can have that ripple effect on others when they go, well, doesn't their sidewalk look nice? Maybe I'm going to go out and pull some weeds.
Yes. Yes. It
It's
can be
not,
an example.
yeah. Oh, yes, an example. And I love a good quiet example rather than that. Oh,
Right.
I mean,
Me
I
too.
love the oh, but
I
it doesn't have to be.
yes. Yes. And
I also go ahead.
a quiet example can turn into that if you let it. So yes.
Yes. I also think sometimes when I'm doing readings,
Hmm.
I find that resistance shows up in those small things in the readings
Yes, it does.
to where suddenly it's like, huh, isn't that interesting? We've had a similar question, and each time I mention something, the querent is responding this way, and that resistance of if I can identify that and support looking at it,
Hmm.
shine an itty bitty bitty light on it, take a
Yeah,
bit of a glimmer and go, look, there you go. It can help shift the energy.
it can. Yes, and sometimes you do need to shift the energy to allow the resistance to dissipate.
Yes. 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 Something to be said for subtlety.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. A quiet example can be a symphony, right?
Yes.
Yes, Timmy, that is exactly right. For you, a symphony would be it.
Yes.
That on that also. Where is it? Where is it? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no.
Sometimes it's a cowbell.
It's not dinging.
Is it dinging now? You can't hear it.
I think that it's the noise reduction thing they got on the
Probably.
yeah. So I can barely hear it. I can hear
Okay.
it barely.
But that's a really good question. I also think, ooh, Deb, let's pull some cards. Let's pull
Okay.
a card and think about this: is what small thing are people pretending is insignificant right now? What small thing are people pretending is insignificant? By the way, if you are watching this and you want to pull a card and you want to share a card for that, please by all means do that. And and Timmy does have a fever, and the prescription is more
It is
cowbell.
more cowbell.
It
Always
is.
is more
It
cowbell.
is. It is.
Hmm. Resistance hides in small things. What is the resistance? Go ahead, Gerald.
What small thing are people pretending is insignificant? I have the Queen of Swords from the Sci-Fi Tarot, and so I'm going to say this very directly. People need to use their voice to speak and to do the actions that need to be done. The Queen of Swords, she's tried, and she has tried to get people's attention. She's shown them sometimes you just need to walk into a room and make it work. You don't have to hurt people while you do it, but
No,
make it happen.
make it. What's the word I'm looking for? The way that the Queen of Swords is, make it confident. Make it with confidence.
Yeah, that's the perfect word. We need to have confidence in our experience and our actions and the words that we use.
Yes. And so to go along with that, I got the Ace of Wands. So are you noticing when things are being offered to you? Do you see that something has come into your life that is worthwhile, worthy of your attention? Accept it when it's being offered. There it is. It's right there. when if you're confident enough, pick it up. Look at, you can do it. You can do it.
I also love that, Deb, because what has happened is the Queen of Swords has actually said something with confidence. And what has happened? She suddenly has that wand in her hand.
Yes.
She knows how to, she knows how to use it. Or if she doesn't know how to use it, she's going to learn to use it. And
Right.
that is a tiny thing. The
Yes.
Ace of Wands, it's the start of something new.
Start of something new. Absolutely.
Yes. We have Sherry has pulled a card. Shifting your perspective is the card I pulled.
Perception, honey.
Perception, sorry. Shifting your perception is the card pulled. And
yes.
Amen. Amen. That I think is pretty significant. Selena said, Page of Cups. People may be pretending that emotional neglect, avoiding feelings, or just joking comments are insignificant. Tiny emotional moments accumulate over time.
Yes. Are those things the just joking things that can be hurtful? Don't allow that. If you're avoiding things, why are you avoiding them? Why are they overwhelming to you? And the just joking, do not allow those hurtful moments to come out of your mouth. And if the target of something like that, set that boundary. Tell them that hurts. You don't have to do it in front of people. Take them to aside. Take them aside and say, that is not helpful to me. That really hurts my feelings when you say things like that. Could you please not do that in my presence?
Yes. And I think, or if you witness someone doing that, that would be a tiny thing to be able to shift that and being able to say, that didn't feel so just joking.
Yes.
Full stop, let it sit there and watch the person back up.
Yes. So yes, that is, be not your brother's keeper, but be aware. Be aware if I was with my cousin yesterday and we were in a store and I'm using a walker, and people kept walking in front of me. And I didn't
be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. I didn't pay any attention to it because it happens to me all the time, but it made her angry because they were doing it. And so she got in front of me and walked so that people would stop walking in front of me and they'd walk in front of her instead. But it's those tiny things like that. You can change the energy of it and it will cause a ripple effect. It's just doing a kindness to someone or for someone. Just saying to someone who's not being kind, look, that's not necessary. Or changing the way you do something, like my cousin walking in front of me so people would stop. So I'd have an easier time with my walker walking through a store. It's it can be just small things. If you witness somebody doing that, that is so true. I want to go back to shifting your perception. That Sherry pulled, the card Sherry pulled. All you have to do to shift your perception is look at it in a slightly different way or in a big way. That Hanged Man card, that's what that is. That's a difference of perception, of knowing how to look at something from all sides. I learned how to do that with meditation. People that make those comments don't look at the person they're making the comment about. They look at the other people to see the reaction, that they are the funny guy or that they're the big guy. And I think that that's exactly what I'm looking at Jan's comment here. People that make those comments, Gerald. That
Oh, don't look at the person they're making the comments about. They look at the other people to see the reaction, if they're a funny guy or maybe they're the big guy.
exactly. They're trying to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. And so maybe they need to figure out that they shouldn't be the center of attention all the time. It's okay some of the time.
I'm not a fan of humor that puts other people down.
I'm not either.
I'm a fan of humor that uses me to create a lesson. I will do that. I will make fun of myself because I'm the only one present and I know how I feel about it.
Absolutely, I do that too. Boundaries or create ripples. Absolutely. And that's what
Boundaries,
we've been talking about.
yes, and it was like the perfect lead in. And the small boundaries often change an entire energetic ecosystem. If
Yes.
someone were to, they observe something and they don't like it or it makes it uncomfortable, and they bring it to somebody else's attention,
Mm-hmm.
there's a great deal of power in that. For me, and this is just Gerald, Deb, I need to be able to figure out how to say something clearly and honestly and then stop talking, because I need that to sit there. The boundary of the ability in saying it just once.
Yes. I have that problem too, Gerald. I to pull myself back and stop, just close my mouth. And it's hard to remember sometimes when you're used to filling up the space. Silence is not your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn that, it's a
Yeah,
really good lesson. It's a
it's a very powerful lesson, and a lot of people have heard this. No means no, and by the way, that is absolutely what it means. And if
absolutely.
someone says no, you stop.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
someone there's also a beauty of, if I tell somebody no or I set a boundary and then they don't know that boundary,
Yes.
what happens is and they ask about it, I have the ability to explain to them what that boundary is, uh, because then I can help create a ripple effect of them thinking about what they're doing, what they've done with me, and
Hmm.
how they might interact differently with other people.
Absolutely.
And I know Selena and Bobby had a show recently about boundaries. We've done some things about boundaries and
We have.
shielding.
We have.
It's very, very powerful. What's also amazing is when we talk about this topic, um, we have to be willing to engage it in a meaningful way.
Yes.
Because if I'm explaining to a child, um, oh yeah, we've got some things. Boundaries are important and needed. Yes, we also need to be aware of the fact of that with the boundaries, we need to respect young humans' boundaries and
Yes.
help them understand why they have set that boundary or why they're not comfortable with that. It's part of the conversation. Again, if you need help with this, professionals are really helpful with this, so that you can understand it. Having strong boundaries conveys the strength of the chariot in my interpretation. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I think there's this idea of oh yeah, hi monkey. Um, I think and I was just having a conversation with somebody, and Deb, you and I were talking about this, the importance of if you set a boundary, and this is where gee, I didn't realize that my boundary was crossed until after it was crossed, then I need to let people know that my boundary was crossed, and I'm doing better at explaining that, because that's part of my responsibility
It
to.
is. It's your responsibility to explain your own boundaries.
Mhm.
And remember, if you set a boundary, stick with it. Try not to be wishy-washy about something like that. It's your personal space. So whatever your boundary is for that, let
Yes.
people know that they crossed it if they do.
Yeah.
If you have very strong boundaries, oftentimes you won't have to tell people.
Mhm.
It's just in the way you carry yourself and the way you express yourself.
And I agree with part of what Jan is saying here. It's just like going, if you don't tell people the boundary, they
Mhm.
can't respect it.
That's true.
The challenge with that is, and this is in my own experience, of I thought I was clear with somebody about a boundary, but in fact I wasn't. I was wishy-washy. I
There.
wasn't concise. I over talked it. Um, Something else that is a boundary, the idea of doom scrolling.
Uh-huh.
Um, some people's phones have the ability to limit the amount of time you can be on certain apps.
That's good.
That's part of what I do.
If you can't
Um,
limit yourself, let's find a way, to set a boundary that way.
yes, I think that's really helpful. Boundaries create ripples. And by the way, when I say ripples, ripples are not a bad thing.
Yeah,
They're not a good thing. Ripples are just
they
ripples.
just are. They just are. It's like energy. Energy isn't good or bad. It just is. And it's how you use that energy that makes it positive or negative.
For those of you who meditate regularly, or who exercise, you have a boundary about that. You know the benefit of doing these things. You show up, you exercise, you meditate, and you do that regularly. That's really important.
Since I can't exercise anymore, I do the meditation. So if I don't do that regularly, I get kind of rusty. It's like,
Mhm. Oh, definitely. Timmy said strong boundaries need strong bindings, which is my interpretation is a justice card. One internal quality of justice, our internal quality of justice, communicates and administrates our boundaries. And also, I think the boundaries that you have about your relationships,
yes,
your practices.
yes,
Deb and I have talked a lot about our magic crafting. I have boundaries to where there are certain things that I will reference. I'm not telling you what I do because that's a boundary for me.
exactly. And I have to, I'm fairly open, but there I also have boundaries of things that
Mhm.
I'm or boundaries of who I say what to. So you have to know yourself,
Mhm.
know what your practices and rituals are. And when I say ritual, it can be something like as simple as brushing your teeth. It's
Well,
whatever you do regularly is a ritual.
to which leads us beautifully into the next
Oh
topic,
my
which is,
goodness, I'm psychic.
yeah, y'all know that now. You've all seen it. You've all seen it. There you go. And that
Hey,
deserves a Fanthorpe.
yes, that deserved a Fanthorpe.
I appreciate that. And what's great is the idea of the tiny rituals matter. The rituals are those repeated actions that shape emotional and spiritual atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I
And
have been doing, yeah, I've been doing shows for 5 years. Before I sit down for every show, I light a stick of incense I arrive early so that I can sit in quiet. That
Yes.
works for me. If I'm doing readings, I'm wearing my necklace. You've all seen that necklace. And
When doing readings, I wear my rings and this necklace.
Mhm.
That lets
I'm
you know
I'm
you're ready.
curious that people who are watching, what are some of the tiny rituals that you do that you find matter?
Yeah.
Please put it into the chat. If you're watching the playback, please share your tiny rituals. Those matter. I mean, and those. Go ahead, Deb.
I want to say about the jewelry that we both put on that's our agreement with spirit that we're ready to work. That
Yes.
is have come prepared, and we've done all of the our each have done our personal rituals to come up to the space where we're ready to work.
Mhm. I remember learning Tai Chi, and there was the same music that was played each time
Mhm.
we would do the warm up. And what was amazing is about 6 weeks in, I would hear that music, and immediately I would take the stance that was necessary. I would say if I heard that music again, I would probably get into that stance without even thinking about it.
Exactly. So our rituals prepare us for whatever activity we're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes us ready to work.
And oh, Pamela Batchelor is here. Thank you for being here. Pamela, we're talking about tiny rituals that matter and help us. Lighting a candle is a great ritual
Absolutely. If we do it regularly.
if we
Mhm.
do it regularly. Pulling a card, a daily reading, the
Yeah.
idea of drinking water
Yes.
before responding, just as a sense to get back
Yes.
into our
Just
bodies.
collect our thoughts and make sure we're
Mhm.
responding in an appropriate way and that we're not overreacting to anything. That's if we slow ourselves down, we can be more appropriate.
Yes. Yeah, I can by slowing myself down with lighting a candle, incense, with a little prayer, which is lovely Saint
That is
D.
a lovely ritual. Yes.
It's something that activates different parts of me, and so, and Jan has fingers and likes has jewelry, and ritual putting fingerless gloves on, ring the bell. Mm-hmm. The thought before the word.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Um, I think there's this idea of, and I had to learn this. The idea is this: if I can pause before talking, it gives me a chance to connect at a deep level uh, with whom I'm communicating.
I want to add to Gerald with what Gerald's saying that this stopping and slowing ourselves down before thinking before we speak is so important. If you are a reader, it's so important to stop and think before you read that card and consider your querent. Consider whether it's one person, is it a group, and how will it affect. That is so important, and it's a tiny thing, but it leads to ripples because then you're able to present um, a more true accounting. Um, just it's so important. So that tiny ritual really matters when you're doing readings, and I dare say it matters in all things. If you stop and take a breath and think about what is about to occur.
That's beautiful. Pamela said, I have many tiny rituals. Every day starts with brewing tea and sitting with cards. I do meditate daily. Just as whatever I do is a meditation, everything becomes ritual.
It does. It absolutely does.
Not blurting out your immediate thoughts also makes you appear more confident and knowledgeable, I think.
Well, that's a win.
I agree. It also, for me, I am an out loud thinker.
I am too.
Pausing just gives my thoughts a chance to catch up with my mouth.
Yes. Yes. I am notorious for saying the wrong thing because I did not stop and think.
It's really fun to, if you think about, if you're going to pause, I'm talking about pausing 1-2 seconds. It's not very long, but in our minds, it feels like it's forever.
Yes.
Timmy also said, my tiny ritual is always making my bed first thing in the morning before doing anything else.
I do that. That is my tiny ritual as well. I am my day can't start if I don't make my bed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Jan is still learning how to take their time when you speak, but I think that's helpful.
All of us, or a lot of us, at least.
Yeah. There's also this thing also, and I'm going to put this up, Deb, because this is this idea of momentum begins before confidence. This idea of, I mean, we wait to feel ready first. I'm going to wait to do that until I'm fully ready, until I feel fully ready. Well, what happens is if you can take one tiny action, that builds the momentum. And when you have momentum and experience, that helps to build confidence.
Yes, I agree.
I've had great conversations with Deborah Zachow from Grow Your Light with Deborah Zachow, where we were talking about you change your life with actions, not in the world of wishes.
Yes.
And so this idea of momentum, it's the Eight of Pentacles, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You got to do that same thing over and over and over and over again until you know how to do it, and then it's solid. You don't need to think about it.
You build muscle memory. Absolutely.
Correct. And you by building muscle memory, you are allowing yourself to not worry about, oh, how do I do this? Instead, you do it. That weaves in that confidence.
Yes.
Weaves in that confidence. I was just looking at some other, because hashtag overachiever, I only had 2 pages of notes.
That's unusual.
I know. What I'd love to do, Deb, is, if it's okay with you, I'd love to pull a final card.
Yes.
Looking at this of, do you think okay, I have 2 options. One, what helps people begin before they feel prepared? Because that directly relates to this.
Right.
Or what tiny boundary creates the biggest positive ripple?
I'll take the positive ripple.
Okay.
If you want to do momentum.
I can absolutely do that. I wasn't necessarily thinking of that, but Deb, I like the way you think. Hi, Lori. If you have enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you're watching the playback.
Yes. And let us know. Let us know what your tiny ripple is. Your tiny ripple that leads to big momentum.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Deb, what did you get for the idea of the boundary that creates the biggest positive ripple?
I'm using the horror tarot for this question, the Ten of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me again the prompt.
The prompt is, what boundary creates the biggest positive ripple?
There. Okay. So that Ten of Cups, reaching out, allowing yourself to be part of a community, finding your tribe is what a lot of people say. Find those people, like-minded people that you feel comfortable with, where you are accepted. Find that. That's a positive ripple that you can do, is become part of a larger collective and let them take you in and nurture you. Find the people that will do that. And once you find that community, then and become part of it, that ripple will just grow and grow.
That's really beautiful. Fill your cup to the brim.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There is no limitation to love, and as we have talked about with the grid, that we are all connected. So once we connect physically, energetically, that has already taken place. We are already energetically connected. And so allow it to grow.
I agree. And what helps people begin before they feel prepared?
Yes.
What helps people to begin before they feel prepared? This is from the Horror Tarot. It's the Ace of Pentacles.
Oh, yes.
How's that? Literally just take the one step, one small thing. It's a small thing. You can do it over if it doesn't work. It's one small thing. You can save $1 million one penny at a time.
You can.
This is that sense of, I love this because manifesting what you want is an important you have to do it. You have to do something physically in order to have that happen.
Yes.
So taking, and this is the Ace of Pentacles. I love this for this reading, for this position.
I do too, because it's the beginning of the action, whatever the action is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hi, Dream Detective Kate, and Sherry said 1 million doll hairs.
There you go.
Yes. Deb, thank you for being here. I think this is an important conversation. I mean, thinking about those shifts, that the tiny little shifts can have big ripples.
Absolutely.
And that's cool. Just think about that. I mean, Timmy gets up in the morning and makes his bed. He has already had a win.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And count your wins. Let that be part of the ripple effect of the shift. Count your wins. And that's it. The little things are the wins. They add up to big things.
I agree. We also have to realize that sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we don't achieve what we wanted to. Yet we can get up, brush ourselves off, try it again. We have to notice when something didn't work the way we wanted it to.
Yes, we do. So. And decide whether or not it's worth doing over to find the right way. It may be it wasn't something that was meant for us. If it's not meant for us, then put it down and move on to the next subject.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You're always progressing. You're always moving.
Always.
Because if we're not moving, oh yeah, here you go. Just try.
Absolutely, Namani.
Yes. This has been delightful, Deb. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for spending some time with us.
Yes.
And maybe today's show didn't give you one giant answer, but perhaps it revealed to you one small shift worth exploring.
Yes.
Please take care of yourself. Make it okay for you to take care of yourself. Because when we normalize taking care of ourselves, that big ripple is going to be experienced and observed by all of those young'uns around us.
Yes, yes, and lead by example. You don't have to beat them over the head with a stick. Just be yourself and lead by example.
That's beautiful. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next time. Please subscribe.
Yes.
So that you don't miss what we've got coming up.
Yes.
Bye. Absolutely.